Hello and welcome to Atomic Geekdom. My name is Dave. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful week. It is now June, so we are in the summer months. Whether it's summer or not, it is not officially summer, but sure does feel like it a lot sooner than it should be. But that's for another time, another conversation. This week on the podcast, we're going to talk about Stranger Things season 4, volume 1. We're talking a little bit about the first 3 episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Go over some of the news from Star Wars Celebration. Then we'll talk a bit about The Boys, which debuted today as we're recording this. It's dropped on Amazon Prime, so you can watch all the episodes or whatever you want to do in whatever time frame that you want to do them in. We'll talk about whatever else we want to talk about because that's just how we roll. Joining me, as always, to do all of these things, it's Kyle.
Hey, what's up, everyone? And hey, Dave, 300 episodes. Woo! Boo, 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 boo. Explosions. Oh.
Yeah, 300 episodes.
All right. Dave's bringing the energy, guys.
I feel every single one of them in my body.
Ooh, it's all right. That's why I've got my lightsaber here for the parties. Yeah. It's not ignited yet.
Oh, you can really hear that key ring jingle.
You're welcome, everyone.
That is directly behind me, right where my head is. Exact same one. So I don't know. Let's waste little to no time and just kind of start jumping right into some of the news from. Let's go outside Star Wars Celebration first. We got our first trailer for Gotham Knights for the CW, and boy, does it look awful.
Yes, it does. It looks like complete trash.
While you're expecting something of a Dawson's Creek style show, or the CW stylized show that you were gonna get. This is it to the max. This is the CW. This is the OC meets Batman, basically, in the worst possible ways, because the OC was better than this. Yeah. So the trailer opens with Bruce's adopted son Turner Hayes, throwing a rager at Wayne Manor, but the party is interrupted when District Attorney Harvey Dent informs Turner that his father is dead in just classy fashion too. Bruce's death, along with the revelation of his double life as Batman, sends shockwaves through the city. I guess everybody now finds out that Bruce is Batman because of his death. It's not long before GCPD brings in a trio of suspects, which is Harper Row, her brother Cullen, and Duella. The later may or may not be Joker's daughter, which they even say in the trailer. They ask her, they straight up just ask her, "Are you Joker's daughter?" The series is also going to feature Carrie Kelly, who looks exactly like not Carrie Kelly. In no way whatsoever does she resemble Carrie Kelly, even in attitude from the 1 second clip that we got of her. He says that she earned her nickname Little Robin by helping Batman as his eyes and ears throughout Gotham. Little Robin. It's an odd universe of this Batman. This is a weird take on this Batman, a weird version of this whole mythology. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll resonate with some people. I don't see this show lasting longer than one season at the most.
I see it. Say 10. I'm going to give it 10 episodes. Just because of how bad they screwed up Carrie Kelly. She doesn't have red hair. It's not like anything like that.
They're gonna cancel the show just because of Carrie Kelly?
No, they're gonna cancel it because of viewerships. Exactly why that.
There's just not enough people that would care enough to not watch because of Carrie Kelly. The show wouldn't survive if the show wouldn't survive on Carrie Kelly fans alone.
Yeah. Stephanie Brown is also in the show, but there's not enough Batman or even Batman adjacent to this show. Whatever they were using for the Bat costume looks terrible. His cowl only covers up to his nose, and then it's just blank. It's just nothing. the second worst. Actually, no, it is the worst Batman costume on live action.
How can you even say? How can we even judge anything like that? Because we're not going to see him in it.
I think we are. Just from his body, just from his body laying there, we're going to see him in it.
A dead body in the costume is not the same.
It's enough for me.
It's not the same. Plus, there's a whole moratorium about having Batman on TV shows because of Warner Brothers, where even on that stupid show
Gotham.
No, the stupider show, Birds of Prey, on the WB, they couldn't show him either, and he was like slow motion running or something like that. That was like all they could do.
Mm-hmm.
Or little snips, cuts, shots of him talking or fighting with Joker or whatever. Like there's a moratorium on what they can show of Batman himself in other shows. So I'm not gonna even judge the show based on the cop Batman costume because one, this isn't about Batman, and two, we weren't gonna ever get the Batman as a character in this show to begin with. So the fact that it's gonna suck has nothing to do with the costume, in my opinion. So
all right.
That was the least of my concerns. Like I could care less what the Batman costume was, because again, it's not a Batman show. It's not about Batman. So as of right now, that I don't see anything in here as it's picked up the series. So whatever that series order is, as far as episodes wise, after that it's canceled. They're not going to cut it short. I think they'll get to air all their episodes, and then that'll be the end of it.
Okay,
that's where I'm going.
Okay.
Deborah Chow teases more surprise characters in Obi-Wan Kenobi. Granted, I think there's 2 episodes left. So everyone was all surprised and leapt out of their chairs when they saw baby Princess Leia running around, and Jimmy Smith's back as Bail Organa as well. I mean, at this point, if you don't know they're there already, you're under a rock. So don't forget spoilers in this episode for Obi-Wan and the Stranger Things season 1, volume 1, excuse me. So yeah, she's hinting that you might see some other characters. There's definitely some to come. She says, I think for us, what we do have in the show, it needed to come out of character for us. We didn't want to put things in it for the sake of it, so they're not playing fan service. These are cameos that had to be cameos. It wouldn't be Star Wars if we didn't have some Easter eggs and we didn't have some cameos. So there you go. At the same time, yeah, they're not going to play fan service. You're not going to see stupid Jar Jar Binks jump in for no reason. But I do believe we are going to, by season's end, see finally Obi-Wan commune with Qui-Gon. And we'll see Liam Neeson.
Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, I got my Quinlan Voss Easter egg, at least. I mean, I'm hoping to see him in live action, but I have a feeling it's not gonna happen anytime soon, unfortunately for me. But
well, now you got all the rumors that Quinlan saved Grogu.
That no, that it's not possible.
Why not?
Because Quinlan Voss was on Kashyyyk when Order 66 happened.
You can't go back.
Someone saved Grogu during Order 66 in the Jedi Temple. So while
in the Jedi Temple, but then what?
All right, I see where you're going with this, but I don't think Quinlan.
Who used the path? Quinlan. Where did Grogu perhaps use the path to escape Order 66?
Okay, doing that. Yes, I forgot about the path. But
well, man, close-minded you are. See not the positives. You don't.
Well,
Griffin Matthews, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, if we see Quinlan with Grogu, awesome. Print it, put it on tape. Do it.
I don't think at this point, I really don't think we need to even see that part anymore. Like, I've kind of moved past it. Grogu survived Order 66, the end. I really don't care how. But for those that want to theorize and stuff, I guess it's kind of fun. But I honestly would be fine if they didn't show us ever how he survived. He survived. That's it. There's other Jedi that did it too. I don't need to see how they did it. Griffin Matthews. I first saw him in the first season of Flight Attendant. He's a pretty funny actor. He has a recurring role in Marvel's She-Hulk. He declined to share specifics of who would play with Matthews, didn't hold back about how he felt about the opportunity to join the MCU. Never in my wildest dreams I think I would join the MCU. This was never a genre that an actor like me and my package could fit into. The most exciting part of joining the MCU is being told by our director and writers, do not try to fit, just be you. And that gave me the freedom to run wild. He did 2 seasons of Flight Attendant, which I didn't watch the second season yet, but I want to. He was also in Dear White People on Netflix. His roles in Ballers, Law and Order SVU, and the upcoming Apple TV Plus series Roar. But did not, like I say, go into what he's doing in the show that debuts August 17th on Disney Plus. Netflix's Resident Evil showrunner describes the setting and the characters. So it's Andrew Dabb. We are now essentially 20 plus years from the first Raccoon City, he says. Everyone knows it was destroyed in a very tragic incident, but very few people know exactly what happened, which makes sense given that it was a bit of a cover-up in the U.S. government. 14 years after the T-virus went global, humans have found a tense stasis with the zombie apocalypse. They've managed to carve out some civilization. People have lives. They may not be the lives they had before. In fact, I can guarantee they're not. Amid both undead and monsters like giant caterpillars, Jade Wesker has become like Jane Goodall for zombies. She's studying them. She's trying to learn how they operate. This is a new organism. Our zombies are not the risen dead. They're infected by a virus. All of us had a crash course in viruses the last few years. The virus changes, it evolves, and it has its own agenda. Meanwhile, in the past timeline, we'll see Umbrella rebuild under a new CEO and a mystery unfold involving younger Jade. The idea is you'll see things in the future storyline, you're like, wait, how did that happen? And then that episode or a couple of episodes later, you'll get that answer. In some ways, the future storyline, so there's a future and a past storyline is what they're saying here. You're seeing flashbacks and then the future.
Okay, so it's kind of like Arrow with the flashbacks, same with Lost, the flashbacks and the flash forwards.
Perhaps. We'll know more on July 14th.
That's next month. Look at that.
Not far away. All right. So Star Wars Celebration kicked off immediately with a trailer for Andor, which looked outstanding. Cannot wait for that show. Which did we get a date for that? August. I want to say again. I think I've said August 3 times.
I think it is August. Although I don't know if they are going to run
August 31st.
August 31st. Okay, so they are going to run She-Hulk and Andor at the same time.
Why not? They're doing Obi-Wan and Miss Marvel, so
they are.
Whatever. Jude Law is set to headline John Watts' new Star Wars series called The Skeleton Crew, which is about a bunch of kids running around in the Star Wars universe. Very Steven Spielberg Amblin-esque is what it sounds like. You got to see some footage with the first trailer for Willow. If you're a Willow fan, you can check that out. We got news that The Mandalorian Season 3 is going to premiere in February of 2023, so we got to wait quite a bit. We got a promotional poster type thing, not really even a photo of like a set photo or anything. It's a production art of Indiana Jones 5. And that's coming back, I guess. Let's just put it there. Without Shia LaBeouf. Director Bryce Dallas Howard will be back to direct Mandalorian Season 3 episodes. Woo! We don't know, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, or who knows. Lego Star Wars Summer Vacation special will be on Disney Plus in August. Those are fun. I liked the Christmas one. I never finished the Halloween one, so I have to do that one yet. But those have been fun. It's enjoyable to see usually it's the you're in present time as far as the chronological order goes, so you're in the sequel trilogy with Poe and Rey Palpatine. It was debuted and announced that the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order sequel will be called Jedi Survivor, and that there was a trailer for it, and it'll be out next summer.
And only on next gen, not on past gen, which
makes sense by then.
Yeah.
2023. No, I guess I shouldn't say summer. Sometime in 2023. I'm just assuming summer. Maybe it'll be sooner. Who knows? Sooner would be better. But anyway, that's just wishful thinking. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, to take a step out of the Star Wars universe, has said that a Black Adam trailer will premiere in June. If you want a sneak peek at how some of these characters are going to look, the Funko Pops have all shown up.
And I think it was announced today that it was June 8th that they're dropping the trailer.
June 8th, so Monday. No, 3, 4,
Wednesday.
So Wednesday. There you go. Wednesday. Yay. Willow producer reveals Val Kilmer's Mad Mardigan, will be part of the Revival series. So there you go. Now you have to watch it, Kyle. You said you wouldn't care. You said you wouldn't care unless Val Kilmer was involved, and guess what?
I just don't know. Don't know how he's going to talk.
Who cares? They did a Rebels panel with Rosario Dawson and the actress that's playing Sabine, and they confirmed some Rebels characters for the live-action Ahsoka series. They have not released the footage from there yet, and I don't expect them to until the trailer comes out. No, but they showed a little bit of production footage, because again, this show is like 3 days into production. It's not done that much. And one of the characters you got to see was Hera. So you got to see the back of the head of Hera Syndulla. And they're actually standing in front of the big giant mural that Sabine painted of all of them. So that's pretty dope. And then in his panel, they talked to the fearless leader Dave Filoni about things, and they got to the end of the interview and said, "Wow, this went by too fast. We didn't even get to talk about where Ezra Bridger is right now in the cast," and everybody's all freaking out. And Ezra Bridger is far, far away, is all he said. What a tease.
Yeah.
Star Wars Tales of the Jedi animated anthology will be out this fall, so you don't have to wait too long for that new animated series, and that's going to be basically a backstory of some of our favorite Jedi, like Qui-Gon and Count Dooku, and even baby Ahsoka, things of that nature. So that'll be fun. Let's see.
Yeah, I think I'm more excited to see young Dooku and young Qui-Gon than I am about the very young Ahsoka right now.
I don't really care about Dooku whatsoever, but we'll see. We'll see what we get. Anything Star Wars related is good in my opinion. Star Wars Visions Volume 2 will be coming out next spring, 2023. Bad Batch Season 2 trailer came out, and it looks outstanding.
And I think they announced September for a release date very recently. It wasn't announced at Celebration. It was a post Celebration announcement. I think it's like September. I want to say September 8th. The number 8 just keeps popping up everywhere.
It's September 28th.
See?
That's not the 8th though.
No, but it is an 8.
You lose, friend. You lose. Okay, I think that's enough Star Wars news. I believe. Just scroll up. Yeah, that's it for that. Aside from you monsters that want to tweet Moses Ingram, just keep your racism to yourself and don't watch the show if you don't like that. You're just disgusting people. Okay. I don't think Will Arnett is going to voice Sweet Tooth in Peacock's Twisted Metal series. Samoa Joe will play the actual character. So there's that. Sorry, I'm umming a lot, guys. I apologize. Sony had their
State of play.
the state of play thing yesterday, and they showed a remastered Spider-Man in there, which looks pretty dope. I still have to beat that game, and then they showed it. Finally showed footage of the remake of the Resident Evil 4, and I cannot wait. It's one of my favoriteest games ever.
So Spider-Man remastered and Miles Morales are both coming to PC, I think, later this year. So that's why they were announced. Yeah. And Resident Evil 4, I'll watch you play it.
Okay. Good stuff. It sounds like he's going, like, he made it sound like, because he was like narrating, Leon is, how it was like the biggest mistake of his life, this event. I wish I could go back. I'd do things differently. It almost sounds like it's like he's going back in time, or maybe he's just narrating the events or something. So maybe that's how they're kind of, laying out how they're doing or why they're doing remake, or who knows? Who cares? Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness will be on Disney Plus before the end of this month, June 22nd. It'll be on Disney Plus. Meanwhile, Morbius returns to over 1,000 movie theaters this weekend. So you did not get a chance to.
Stupid meme.
Yeah. Well, it's back.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. I don't know. I did. I didn't think it was as bad as everybody thought it would. Daniela Melchior, last seen as the queen of the rats in Suicide Squad, has a role in Guardians Volume 3. It's a small role, but she's joining one of many to follow James Gunn around in his cinematic universe of movies. She dubbed the voice of Gwen Stacy in the Portuguese version of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, apparently.
Yeah.
Before being in the Suicide Squad. And
that's pretty awesome.
She's also going to be in the next Fast and Furious film alongside Vin Diesel. And Jason Momoa.
Talked about a stacked cast with that movie.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about it at all. Percy Jackson and the Olympians has added 5 new cast members, and I only want to talk about this because of one of them, because they're one of my favorite actors ever. Megan Mullally, Glenn Turman, Virginia Cole, Tim Sharp, and my man Jason Mantzoukas is joining the cast of Percy Jackson and the Olympians. I actually liked the first movie. I thought it was pretty cool as far as those kind of movies go. The Harry Potter, young adults, mythology type books. I've always been a fan of these mythology stories, like these, dealing with the gods and things like that. So I kind of dug this storyline. So yeah, I'm interested to see where they go with this show, especially with Jason Mantzoukas. And I don't think they announced like who he's playing. I could be wrong here. Let's see.
No, I think it was just cast announcement.
Oh, yeah, the camp's irritable and sarcastic director Dionysus, played by Mantzoukas.
Well, there you go.
Mullally has been cast as Alecto, one of the 3 Furies in service to Hades, who disguises herself as Percy's strict, irascible math teacher. Let's see here. Turman from The Wire will lend a hand to Percy as Chiron, a centaur and trainer of heroes, before revealing his true nature. Disguises himself as Percy's Latin teacher, Mr. Brunner. The character was originally played by Pierce Brosnan. And then Anthony Stewart Head played him in the sequel when they recast him, I guess. And then Colin Sharp round out these new additions as Percy's mother and stepfather. So new characters, I guess. I don't know. I didn't read the book. All right, so I think that's enough news, unless you got something I didn't talk about.
No, I think we covered all the big stuff. I think that's it. We're ready.
All right. I heard a thing today, and you can dispute me, or somebody can. That's 2020. That's not going to help me any. That based off of, okay, so they announced So what we know is Obi-Wan Kenobi, the series, takes place 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. What we knew about Jedi The Fallen Order was that was 5 years after Revenge of the Sith, and that the new one, Jedi Survivor, takes place 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, 5 years after the first game, which leads a lot of people to suspect we might get some crossover there in Obi-Wan, or maybe even in the game. We might get some Obi-Wan crossover, who knows? But there are some out there who are saying that Solo and Obi-Wan take place in the same time period, which means Solo is eyeing up a 9-year-old, or what looks like a 9-year-old. And I don't think that's accurate. I think the time is wrong a little bit there.
I kind of well, I mean, if we look at A New Hope, Princess Leia is 19 at that time. So no matter what, and who knows exactly how much a year is in the Star Wars universe, if it like is ours or not. It might be faster. Who knows? Who knows? As we know, she is of legal age in A New Hope, so it's not, that part is not bad. If we were to see a young Han Solo eyeing up a then Leia, yes, that's bad. But
well, hang on. Okay, so she would technically be 10 years old, right?
Correct.
In the show. So 10 years, 10, yeah. So Solo takes place 10 years prior to the events of the original Star Wars. So
okay,
she'd be 20, basically 19, 20 when she meets Han. Okay, I don't see what the problem is. Yeah. Because I don't think Han is that much older than her.
Maybe I want to say 30.
Wow. I was say like 26, 27. You don't really get any kind of age.
Yeah.
And Harrison Ford is of kind of a different generation where they age differently. And he kind of tends to look a little older than he is as a younger man, I think, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I saw that and I was like, that can't be right. And it turns out it's technically is, but not, because the timeline's wrong. It's 10 years apart. Obi-Wan Kenobi and Solo are 10 years apart, at least. I think that's accurate. So there you go. All right, that's the thing, guys.
They're 10 years apart.
Yes, because, well, hang on. If they're 10 years, they're Solo. I'm sorry. Solo and A New Hope are 10 years apart.
Okay.
Yep. So, and then if she's 19, then we're led to believe that it's 10 years after Solo, or 10 years between Obi-Wan and Solo, then is what we're led to believe, or 9 years if she's 19 at the time of A New Hope, right?
Correct.
So yeah, there you go. There's your
so yeah, Solo. And
where did you get this information that she's 19?
I have always known is that it is that between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, it is 19 years. It's been engraved in my mind. It's like 19 years. Like Revenge of the Sith is 19 years before the Battle of Yavin. That's how they do that's how Star Wars does their whole time. They do it by one event. So it's either before or after the Battle of Yavin. So it's like in either
I've got a birthday chart here, an age chart. YodasDatapad.com is the source.
Oh boy.
I haven't looked at it in a while. Is anybody talking in our chat?
I don't know. We'll take a look.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah, Dead Zombie Girl. I fucked up my sleep schedule. Woohoo! Yeah, welcome, Dead Zombie Girly.
Hey, sorry we haven't given you any attention in 22 minutes. So yes, it says here that Leia is 19. Lando is 31 as of New Hope. I guess they count Rogue One as well, since that's basically the same day.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, where is Han Solo is canon. It's got the squiggly line, which means estimated, when you're approximately 32.
Okay.
In Legends, he's 29.
Oh, okay.
So that makes him 22 in his Solo movie. He's 66 when he dies. Let's see here. Captain Phasma. Why does anybody care? She's approximately 9 in Return of the Jedi. That's all they say here. Obi-Wan is 57 when he dies, 47 in Solo, and 38 in, so he's 48 right now when we see him. Amidala died when she was 27. Poe Dameron is 32 when we meet him.
Yeah, because I could see that. Well, maybe.
How how old would you say Jar Jar is in Revenge of the Sith?
He's 100.
33.
What the fuck?
He's 87 by the time the whole saga ends. Apparently, we don't know. I guess one way or the other. Qui-Gon in canon is 48. In Legends, apparently he's 60 when he dies.
Okay. Well,
I guess droids have ages, so there's droid ages in here. That's pretty dumb. Snoke has an age. What? Okay. Jango Fett died at 44. Ben Solo was 30. Lando. There he is. We talked about Lando already. So Luke, obviously, same age as his sister. Darth Maul was 44 in Solo. Wow, Chewbacca. 235.
Yep.
By the end of this.
Have a long lifespan.
Wow, only by the end of Return of the Jedi, Boba Fett was 36.
And yet, he looks extremely older.
Yeah. Vader died on his 45th year.
That sucks.
His canon and Legends age are like a year off, so what's the big deal?
Oh, that's not bad.
And that's assuming any of this is accurate. Let's see here. Ages and birth dates are based on Lucasfilm or Lucasfilm licensed sources. No precise ages available from the new canon after the 2014 Expanded Universe reboot. Ages from the 2014 Legends sources are used. Many ages from Legends have been confirmed in new canon, so the rest are likely to be correct too. In cases where new canon sources directly contradict the Legend sources, both versions are given in separate rows. Characters are listed in alphabetical order by what I think people usually call them if you can't find the characters you're looking for. Blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
Check out my Star Wars book list with side-by-side timelines of Legends and new canon novels. Okay. All right. There you go. We just gave a nice big promotion to Yoda's datapad.com.
There you go. It's a nice block.
Yes. Like I said, real quick, The Boys season 3 debuted today. So you can watch all.
So did they dropped all the episodes, or did they just drop one and are going weekly?
They dropped 3 today.
3 today. Okay.
So they will be weekly. It looks like after that. Yes, okay. Until July 8th. So there's only 8 episodes. So there you go. 3 episodes to binge your weekend away.
Yeah, do it.
All right. Well, let's talk Obi-Wan real first, since there's only 3 episodes of that, even though they're pretty large episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been happy with Obi-Wan so far, or are you going to complain that everything on Disney is fan fiction?
No, I'm excited about Obi-Wan. But I think episodes 1 and 3 are the best so far of the 3. I think 2
2 is my favorite.
Oh.
Yeah, 2 with Camille Nanjiani and Princess Leia jumping on the rooftops. I thought that was the best one.
No, I mean, well, see, now we're talking about spoilers. You can't really, I don't think you could really top having Darth Vader in an episode and anything. I do hope this is not the last time that Obi-Wan and Darth Vader fight, because if that is, we waited all that time for that fight. So
He got revenge.
he did. That was quite a scene I was not expecting. That was a pretty heavy scene.
Yeah, Obi-Wan's got to bounce back from that because dude looked like a bitch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he cut himself off from the Force for 10 years. So
Okay.
he just and he just started using it again.
Yeah, but I mean, you're great. Okay, man up, dude. You're trying to protect this little girl and give her time to get away.
Well, he also, I mean, it's nothing like he had 10 years of quote unquote peace. He wasn't using his
Right.
skills to his.
He's still got balls enough to tell people to leave him alone.
Yeah,
And
but I mean,
you know,
but
he's putting up his defenses and all this other crap when he needs to hide. When it comes to protecting her, I mean, 10 years is 10 years, but it's not like 10 years of I don't know. He is still doing manual labor. He's still got muscles. Like, come on, man.
I don't know. That's just the way I look at it. Is that he's 10 years apiece. He's not using his fighting skills every single day like he was during the Clone Wars.
I don't think it has anything to do with that at that point. I think it has a lot to do with the PTSD of it being Anakin.
Mm-hmm.
More so than anything else. But yeah, I don't know. I did enjoy the ghost Anakin that showed up.
Yeah, I did too.
Kind of freaked him out.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're seeing a little bit of Leia using her Force abilities to read Obi-Wan. At least his kind of read his energy and his mind and know that something's going on. And not only is he lying to her, but he's also just not right and not ready for this. I did enjoy Freck in episode 3. I thought the transport driver for Imperial Mining Facility, Mapuzo, I thought he was pretty funny. He sounded like a Muppet.
You mean Zach Braff?
Yes, I do. Everyone thought it was Seth Rogen.
Oh, I couldn't tell. I couldn't actually tell it was Zach Braff until after the episode. So props on them for doing that voice well.
Some cool cameo actors so far. Zach Braff and Dira Varma played Imperial officer who kind of has now become a traitor to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also got Flea in the first and second episode, more so the second episode. Who's a criminal guy, a bounty hunter, who got his face, the front of his body sliced off by a lightsaber.
Was
Flea
that
from Red Hot Chili Peppers? Sorry,
yes.
For those that don't know who that is.
Was that green-skinned alien that we saw with Flea? Was that the same alien race as Prince Caesar? It looked like it.
I don't know. I didn't really get a good look at him.
Okay, I'm gonna say
sure. Why not? Why not? Trying to think here. I'm loving the Inquisitors. I do have to be honest. I rolled my eyes and actually said, "Come on!" When Princess Leia, little Leia, turned around and there's the third sister.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, come on! How did she get there so fast? You got to be kidding me! Like, I understand she's a little girl. She's a little girl and she doesn't run that fast, but dude, come on! I get it. They want her to be like she's one step ahead of literally everybody, almost even Vader. But like, and I don't get me wrong, I'm not criticizing the actress. I love her. She's doing a great job.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the role is cool. I think it's a cool character. But I do also think they're just making her a little too, as the kids say, OP. Like, just good Lord, Obi-Wan stands no chance against this woman.
No. I thought there was only one path to the shipyard, and how did Reva surpass Leia?
Get around it, yeah. Like I don't know. I'd have to watch it again to see if I missed something there. But like, and also, does that mean Tala is dead? Why do my monitors keep turning off? Quit it.
No, I don't think the Imperial defector.
Mm-hmm.
No, she helped Obi-Wan at the end.
Right, but didn't she run into the third sister or the first? Yeah. Oh, okay. All right.
No,
Whatever.
she like it's weird timing again with Riva being there. It doesn't make sense. It's a storytelling
Right.
mistake that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, I would say. Grand Inquisitor, do you think he has actually been unalived by the third sister?
Well, the fact that Vader said, "Oh, you could be the next Grand Inquisitor," leads me to believe that the Grand Inquisitor that we see in Rebels is a different Grand Inquisitor. So I think
Uh,
he is unalive, but I think someone else is picking up the mantle.
Rupert Friend was excited to bring the Grand Inquisitor to live action and wanted to remain faithful to his characterization in the animated series Star Wars Rebels.
Okay, so either that or it's they're trying, not to spoil anything. Being like, yeah, I'm in there the whole time.
But it then goes on to say, though he, Chow, and Rebels co-creator Dave Filoni did not want him to do an impression of Jason Isaacs. So maybe they wanted to leave it open to being a different character, because it seems like there is another Grand Inquisitor in Star Wars Survivor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So an older one, it seems like, which, because I mean, that one's dead. Jason Isaacs dies in Rebels. Jason Isaacs, Grand Inquisitor, dies in Rebels, quote unquote, dies in Rebels, I guess we should say.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? I mean, maybe the Grand Inquisitor is just a title. I mean, it's got to be just a title.
Yeah, maybe he goes to the chop shop, the same one that Fennec did.
Maybe. I mean, it's the same species, right?
It looks to be
Rupert, the Pawan species from Utapau.
Yeah.
It's the highest ranking Inquisitor of the Galactic Empire. Once a member of the Jedi Order, serving as a Jedi Temple guard.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one character. That's not a title. That's him. He used to be a Jedi. I don't know. Then we got the fifth brother in there who is just not having the third sister shenanigans.
The fifth brother reminds me of Benedict Wong, and
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
Sung Kang.
I thought that he would be
Han from the Fast and Furious.
Wait, that is him?
Yeah.
Oh shit, Mr. Han.
That's a different person.
Oh shit. I could
DJ.
see
that's DJ Han. It's Mr. Han is a DJ from Linkin
I
Park.
could see the fifth brother being the next Grand Inquisitor, and him being like the Rebels. And actually, not even the Rebels one. No, he's too. The Rebels one is too proper.
The Grand Inquisitor. Plus, he's also that race of alien. They're not the same race.
Yeah.
So
maybe he's not unalive. Maybe he is very much alive. And Vader is playing Riva very well.
Playing her as in
like
manipulating
her. Yeah.
Yeah. Han will be in the next two parts of Fast and Furious, Fast X, Van 10, and Fast X Part 2, which I guess they're splitting 10 into two parts, I guess. What the hell? The hell?
Okay.
I don't know. I don't get it. I don't want to get it.
We're going to space.
They are going to go to space one day.
Okay. But
yeah, it's the same.
Yeah, we also got another Inquisitor, a female. But
yeah, yellow skinned with little tiny tendrils.
Yeah, but they didn't like give her a name or a code name like 12.
Not yet. Yeah, as far as I know, we don't have an indication as to where she ranks in the Inquisitor line. I guess. Yeah. I guess is how that works.
But first episode was great. I mean, we got the like recap of the prequels. Seeing Obi-Wan in the town with the Inquisitors and
Owen. She's the fourth sister. Sorry,
she's the fourth sister. Okay. having Owen like lie for him was probably one of the hardest things Owen ever had to do.
It's pretty uncomfortable to sit there and be like, dude, come on, dude, Obi-Wan, step up.
Yeah, but
Knowing, I mean, we as the audience knew nothing was going to happen to them, but yeah,
especially at the end of the episode when you find out that he buried the lightsabers, so he didn't even have it on him. So it wouldn't have been much. I don't think much of a fight. Anyway,
yeah. It also just would have been a nice little bookend if Ray had been a Kenobi and burying the lightsabers in the sand, and then just a nice little bookend. I'm just saying.
mm-hmm.
Just saying, she could have been related in the brother, the way that he has a brother.
Yeah, that was something at least I didn't know, that Obi-Wan had a brother, but
Here you go. Little known fact in the lore of Star Wars. Owen at one point was going to be Obi-Wan's brother.
Oh.
And then they changed that. So there was a point that I think in a novelization of Star Wars: A New Hope that Owen and Obi-Wan, or Owen and Ben, were brothers at some point, and then they changed it. And I learned this all from probably some Easter eggs thing I watched this week from about the first few episodes. What is behind you on the fridge?
That is from Horizon Zero Dawn, or Horizon Forbidden West.
Okay, don't care.
It's
all right. Yeah, what? That's fine. Yeah, so season's going well, I think, for Obi-Wan. We've got 3 more episodes left, apparently.
Yeah,
all wrapping up on June 22nd.
We haven't heard any like press being like, "Oh, this is the episode," blah blah blah, like everyone has said about either Stranger Things or
anything. Like, yeah, this is the episode you've been waiting to see. You know, like this is the one I've been waiting for. Blah blah blah. Yeah, overhyping things, which we're going to talk about in a second.
What was the other show that they talked about doing that?
It was Moon Knight. They're waiting for. Yep. Yeah. They all were waiting to rewatch an episode they got the sneak peek of, because it was the best one they had seen. But then the episode after that was better, in my opinion. But anyway, speaking of, let's talk about Stranger Things. The thing I like most about this, and what finally people are catching up on, is the way they use music in their scenes to hype up a moment, to build a moment, to make it more dramatic, to make it more exciting. And they did that in episode 4, which is what everyone was freaking out about. Chapter 4, Dear Billy, directed by Sean Levy and written by Paul Dichter. Max's favorite song, which she's been listening to, she's had her headphones on the whole season so far. She's listening to Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush. Thank you. I've been hearing her name all week. Also, Kate Bush fans, stop gatekeeping new fans of the song. What's wrong with you? This is a new generation of people finding this song for the first time ever, and you're upset by that because they found it and they like it. Be happy that people are enjoying the music you already love.
So I was watching episode 1 of Stranger Things, and that song came on, and I'm like, I have heard this song before.
Placebo, right?
Yeah.
The placebo version?
No, actually, it's Track and Field.
Oh.
It was a different cover. It was in Warehouse 13. It was done to a different effect for a character death. And I'm like, I'm going through my mind. I'm like, I know this song, but I don't know where it is. And then I'm like, boom, Warehouse 13. I can envision the scene and everything. So it's not the first time I've heard the song, but it's the first time I've heard the original.
Right. So yes, the Elastic Band made a remix of it in 1994. Within Temptation did a version of it in 2003. Placebo is the one I've heard it the most. It was in an episode of the OC, and I've seen it in other shows and movies over time. And there's a Meg Myers version very recently, and then there's just a new version 2022 of this year. German star did it, probably just because of this reason, to be quite honest with you. My favorite version is the Placebo and the original. I think both are fantastic. and they both have that real tension building, like just drama building pace.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't know, man. I recognized it right away. I'm like, oh yeah, I know that song. I've heard that song before. But like, why would you not be excited that people are finding the music you love? I don't understand that.
Like, I mean, anything from like, I'm just gonna do it because of music. Anything from like Guardians or like Peacemaker, anything basically James Gunn wise, having these songs and finding that there's more people getting to know these songs and getting
Mm-hmm.
What's the correct terminology? Not like wow, I sound really dumb right now, but like getting oh wow, I am having such a day with this. But just getting their reactions to the songs and having them listen to it more is awesome. I'm gonna think of the
I mean,
term.
it became #1 on Apple Music over the weekend.
Yeah.
Apple Music and Spotify. I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's gotten a ton of clicks on YouTube. I've showed so many people the placebo version this week. Running Up That Hill placebo version has appeared in several TV shows, including, and I've not seen it in any of these. So I don't know where I've heard where, because I don't remember it in the OC, but I'll have to look it up. Oh, I do remember it was when they killed a character.
Which one? Which one?
In the OC?
Yeah.
When they killed Marissa.
With the car crash, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay. I don't remember the song, but I remember
used. So it's used in the opening scene of the 4th season, which is after they killed her. It's like a montage of the aftermath.
Okay.
So
damn it, now I want to do an OC rewatch.
I love the OC. I'd be down for that. I'm actually doing it because of the what do you call it, the podcast that does that. Two of the actors are rewatching it together for the first time.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, they're on season 2. They're almost done. But the hard time I'm having is not watching episodes ahead, because they do one a week, and it's like I don't really want to just stop. I want to just keep going. So the Vampire Diaries, Bones, CSI, and NCIS LA also use Placebo's version of the song. Anyway, the scene is fantastic. You can actually see the scene on YouTube. It's all over the place. They got to cut with the song and all that stuff. I don't know how they don't get in trouble, but I get in trouble when I play Guitar Hero. I actually got a warning that
you did.
Twitch took down my VOD before I could after playing Guitar Hero last night. So now they actually changed my settings to automatically not publish my VOD, that I have to go in and publish it after the fact.
Oh shnikes.
Whatever. That's easier that way.
Yeah.
It's just easier that way. So who cares? But yeah, Stranger Things season 4. I'm friggin' digging everything about it. I love it. I love it so much. It's just everything I love about the show, all wrapped into one. It's that 80s feel, very 80s feel. So much so that, okay, so you have 3 storylines going on, and they told us this before the season even started. So you have 3 major storylines going on, and they're all 3 based on movies, or horror genre, or movie genre type. So you've got a Zodiac type murderer going on in the city. Let's just call it that. There's a serial killer on the loose, mixed with a Scooby-Doo mystery with the kids, because they're trying to figure it out. And then you've got this stoner action adventure in California going on. And then you've got a Russian prison break movie going on at the same time. Now, the things I care the least about, and I'm being perfectly honest, and don't get me wrong, I love these characters, but the storylines I didn't care to even see. Are you going to guess? You want to guess?
Yeah. Because mine was the Hopper storyline.
Yep, didn't care.
Nope.
Didn't care. Not that I don't care about Hopper or Joyce. Love Murray to death. I can't get enough Murray.
Murray's great.
Yeah. I cannot get enough Murray. They can give me a whole episode of Murray, just Murray being Murray. Murray coming over and making risotto. Murray lying about why he's at her house. Like, why are you still lying to these kids, Joyce? Talk about the worst parent. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She is the worst parent in the 80s. And parenting in the 80s was already bad to begin with. You didn't know where your kids were, and they even bring it up in this season. Like we thought they were all together in our basement. They thought they were in their own basement, and they weren't even there. Like, that's how it was. You didn't know where kids were until the streetlights came on and they came home. That's how it was. That's just how it was.
11 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are?
That's exactly right. That was kids that are listening. That's a thing that would play on TV at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock. Parents, do you know where your children are? And that was to remind you to go find your kids. Get off your ass. Stop watching the news. Go find your kids before they're being molested by the ice cream man.
Hey, get off the shed.
like that's how it was. Also, how it was in the 80s, Satanic Panic. That was legit. That was a thing. Heavy metal music, Dungeons and Dragons, anything wizardy, sci-fi or fantasy meant you were a Satanist and that you believed in the devil, or because you listened to Ozzy Osbourne or Metallica or anything like that, you were a devil worshiper and you were sacrificing babies at the beach for your god Satan, which couldn't be further from the truth. These guys couldn't hurt anyone because they're so weak and pale and listening to heavy metal music in the basement. I'm not making fun of them, really. I'm just making a joke. But like, you look at the dude that they're blaming and you're like, no, this guy couldn't do what that happened to this girl physically.
No.
The damage she's in, he would need many, many metal baseball bats to do that to her body. Like, he's a little kid. And again, he's a kid. He's a senior in high school, I think. But like,
I don't know how many times he's a senior, but I think
right, whatever. But he's a toothpick. Like and he even says it in this episode because he gets so far down. He's like, I run. Apparently, I run. I'm in D&D. I run towards danger. In real life, I run away. I just run away and hide. He even says it. He's not a hero. He's not like because he kind of is in awe of Steve at that point because Steve didn't hesitate. He jumped in and he's doing the manly, and he's got manly chest hair now apparently.
That was say that. Hey, Steve's got chest hair. Yeah,
that was freaking great. And then they're both just staring at the binoculars, and then Max is like, "Let me see," and then Max just kind of stares for a little too long, and I'm like, "Perfect." Just a genius moment, just so funny in the face. They say that all the time. The comedy is in the face of such tension, drama, and danger. Like, they're in the middle of a boat that apparently somebody just was murdered in this lake, who floated out of the water, had their bones popped and their eyes burned out from the inside. And like, the cops are in the woods behind them. And now they're somewhere in this lake, there's a gate to the upside down. Like, this is all happening, and we have time to make jokes about Steve's chest hair. Like, outstanding. This is the kind of stuff I love. This is what I loved about Buffy. This is the stuff I love about all the shows and movies I love, is they can make these quips and these things in the middle of such of danger and horror, and they have these little moments of levity, which, as try as they might, I'm not getting from Hopper. No. Although I do like his new Russian friend. I do enjoy that guy.
I do like the man with many faces.
Yes. From Game of Thrones. Yeah.
I did not put it together until I saw a TikTok of it, and someone's like, "Where do I know him from?" And then it popped up, and I'm like, "Oh God, I can't believe it." But I honestly, if Hopper stayed dead, I would have been. I honestly, Hopper should have stayed dead.
Right. Let's go back again to my rant about the worst parent of the 80s, Joyce Byers. You move your kids to California. Perfect idea. Genius. Good. Get them away from trauma territory. Will deserves to be far, far away from Hopkins. Although his friends are there, that is nothing but drama and trauma for that poor boy. Get him to a new place where he can restart and reset his brain. Jonathan probably should have stayed in Hopkins with Nancy, but whatever. And 11, they just put her with whoever, I guess, apparently is what they're doing with her. She's a little psychopath that she is. But Joyce lying to them about going to see the Britannicas in Alaska. Just tell them the truth that Hopper might be alive. Yes, 11's going to want to help, but she doesn't have her powers. She can't. She can't help. She's got to stay behind. You have to stay here. Jonathan's going to take care of you. This is just the way it's going to go. Like, assert some kind of adult responsibility here. Tell them the goddamn truth.
Mm-hmm.
I just I didn't, that just blew my mind that she can, after everything they've been through, she's going to continue to lie.
Mm-hmm. Dead Zombie Girlie said, I always get so annoyed when people say Satanists are devil worshippers are the same thing. But yeah, no, they're definitely not.
Yeah, we're talking about Stranger Things season 4 right now too, just for those that are just jumping into the chat. So yes, our bad guy for this season. Sorry, my eyes, allergies are starting to act up now because my windows are open. Our bad guy is Vecna, and that's the character. The characters have given the bad guy that name. Of course, it's a D&D reference to the Curse of Vecna. Basically, this monster is just murdering people. I guess there's really no. If I think about it right now, there's no rhyme or reason as to who or why, other than the fact that they have trauma in their history.
Yep. When they finally figured out that that the Upside Down was stuck in 1983, and when they flashed back to season 1,
yeah,
I thought it was Barb. I thought Vecna was Barb.
What, did you ever figure it out before the reveal?
Before the reveal, I was like, oh, maybe spoilers, maybe the orderly is somehow, related to not Freddy. What's his real name?
Victor?
No, Freddy.
Oh, Eddie?
Freddy Krueger.
Oh, yeah, Creel, Victor Creel.
Yes, Victor Creel. I thought he could have been, or that he was at least for sure Vecna, but it wasn't until episode 7, which I think is the best episode of the season so far.
Yeah, the hour and a half long episode. Hell yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
A whole hour and a half, and yet there is no nothing with Mike and Jonathan and Will and the pizza guy. I can't remember his name.
Argyle.
Argyle, yeah, great name, Argyle. That is the name of the chauffeur from Die Hard, by the way, is Argyle. I wonder if that's a reference or not, but
yeah, but no, when they finally revealed that it was Victor Creel's son, B, that he was Vecna, C, that 11 created him, and D, that 11, as of right now,
not necessarily created Vecna, yes, Vecna, but
not created the powers.
He already, he already had all that stuff. She put him there.
Yeah, and
which
that 11 created the Upside Down, or she just opened the gateway to the Upside Down.
Right. That's it. She originally tore the. Yeah, maybe Vecna created the Upside Down when he got there.
Yeah,
he made it out. He made that into Hawkins or not? Hawkins. Excuse me.
So when was pre-season 1 taking place? Was that in 1979?
Pre-season 1, you mean?
Yeah, everything in the lab.
Yeah, 79.
Okay.
You're talking about the massacre.
The massacre, yes.
Yes, 79.
79. So there was 4 years before season 1. Correct?
83. Yep.
Okay. So time moves slower. It only matters when the plot tells it to matter that it's time.
I think they're saying time stopped in the Upside Down.
Well, if Vecna and number 1 went in 1979, you would think it would have stopped in 1979, right?
No, I think it would have started in 1979. My thing is, I think it starts in the Upside Down starts in 1979. Like that world is created by Vecna, Like okay, so that plane of existence is there.
Mm-hmm.
He made it into the quote unquote upside down that we know it in 1979. So he maybe he created all these things. I don't know. Now we're really reaching at theories here. And I don't think any of these are right. So,
hey, that's fine. Honestly, that's fine. That's what this is for.
Because how would he know?
Yeah,
and how would 11 know what everybody's houses look like on the inside or anything like that? You know,
and especially
I think it's just an alternate reality that he just got sent to, or in the Stranger Things multiverse. Basically, it's another dimension. And as it's been explained, it's your one rope on the top rope is our reality, the bottom rope is the upside down. That's all it is. It's just two sides of the same coin.
Which was
there's no people. The coolest thing I've ever seen in cinema that I didn't know I needed to see was the rope climb.
Yeah.
and the way they threw me off, like I was not expecting Nancy to then just suddenly fall into the abyss. Like I'm like, oh fuck, like what the hell? And then I'm like, and I'm just watching. I'm like, oh shit, she's dead. That's it. Nancy's gonna die. And here I thought from the beginning of that episode, because of what happened at the end of the episode, Steve's dead. Like there's no way Steve survives this season.
So Sunday you showed me a picture of by like feelings of season 4, and was a picture of like Steve crying. So in my head I'm like, oh, Steve's dead. Steve dead. Max is fine, but Steve's dead. And as of right now, Steve is very much alive. Just
a
little bit.
Of all the people that are set up to be the most dead by the end of the season, you got Nancy and Steve at the very tippy top of that list right now. Yeah, dude. I didn't see footage of him wearing Eddie's vest until right before I watched the episode where Eddie gave it to him. But I guess it was in the trailer at some point.
Also, Eddie supposed to be playing guitar on top of the house.
Volume 2, man.
I guess it's just weird that they would show footage for the second season when they're supposed like promoting for the first.
I'm guessing that's a distraction to try to get to Nancy before like I don't know, man. But those bat things were dope. I thought that was a cool addition. That was scary. Just so many of them. I loved the reflectiveness of the bike riding on the top, and then Robin saying you had bikes in 1983, right? And so they're riding bikes on both sides. I love the callback to the lights and using. And I was wondering why Target was selling a light bright. Now I know why they're selling light brights, and I should have got one when I saw it. I thought that was a great effect. I didn't quite understand the physics of it, but or the logic behind it, but I gotta agree with Steve 100% about Dustin's ego right now is a little. He needs to be brought down a peg or two. Yes, he's a genius, and yes, he seems to have all the answers, but I have a feeling he's going to be wrong, and it's going to cost them big at one point soon.
It's going to cost Steve his life.
Maybe. But I again, still my favorite characters are Steve, Dustin, and Robin, and I added Eddie to that list right now. I think Eddie's going to have a cool arc, especially when he revealed he runs away, which I think is that the whole guitar thing is him kind of being a decoy and a distraction and setting himself up to maybe be a sacrifice so that they can free Nancy at that point or somebody from Vecna. I think Max, while she's not in the clear, I think she is. I think her run at being in peril is over, but I loved that arc. I love that she was hanging on to that trauma. That was, of course, she's going to be traumatized. Her brother died basically in her arms, and his dying words were, "I'm sorry." Like that's going to, take a lot. And the fact that she's seeing the school counselor and stuff like that. And I like that carried over, and that her mom left the stepdad, and that they're kind of rebuilding their lives, and she's living in a trailer park and all these things, and her relationship with Lucas being a douchebag until it finally really, really counted. And then he did the right thing. It didn't take as long as I thought it would. I thought that was going to drag out a little longer, where him going with the popular kids, but it's still Lucas that we love and remember. So,
I'm glad, because I was ready to punch those jocks.
And for those of you, I don't know who you are. You're dead wrong. The portrayal of bullies, aside from the girl in LA, I don't know girls that are that mean, but they're probably out there. I didn't have girl bullies. I didn't have girl bullies. I had boy bullies. But girls, I hear girls are just as mean to other girls or meaner. Yeah, they do it more psychologically than boys. I don't know. I don't quite know if that girl deserved a roller skate to the face, but she was incredibly mean. But so were the three people that were with her. Were just also, and the roller derby DJ. Who are you, dude? You're a nerd, man. Like just you let this happen, you dick. Like, what's the matter with you? And yes, they're also, it is an amplified situation to make it a lot like Carrie. It was a Carrie moment, 100%. Dead Zombie Girl says girls aren't just as mean. You're saying girl bullies aren't as mean as guy bullies? Is that really what you're saying? I mean, I'll take your word for it. I don't know. I don't, like I say, I'm not a girl. And I don't, but in my lifetime, which is in the 80s, I was a kid. And in the 90s, I was in high school, late 90s. So middle school and high school were in the 90s. There you go. Girls can be psychological terrorists, she says.
Brain ninjas.
Yeah. That portrayal of the bullies, those jocks, as I'm going to call them jocks because that's what they're meant to be in this situation. I think things have changed a little bit over time. I think there's a lot more. I don't know. I've seen it in my nephew, but my nephew's a different kind of person. Where the athletic kids still hanging out with the nerdier kids, and there's a little bit of unity there now, whereas we're one generation now instead of we're all, us against each other type of thing, as it kind of was when we were growing up or when I was growing up. But those bullies 100% existed in my life. It acted the exact same way. I didn't have to deal with satanic panic. I wasn't that kind of kid. But as far as just being a dick to somebody because you're a jock or you're a star athlete, totally true.
I was fortunate enough that all the jocks in my high school were not like that. Our school was, for the most part, pretty welcoming of all that, but we didn't have like a D&D group that I know of. But
see, I mean, my high school after school had D&D kids would hang out in the cafeteria when just after school. Star Wars, the card game kids would hang out and play. Like I had some cards. I never knew how to play the game, but I had the set because it's Star Wars, so I had to have it. So I was basically just trying to get cool cards. I didn't know what they did, but I was the kind of kid in high school. I wore football jerseys, like I wore Green Bay Packer jerseys and baseball jerseys and stuff like that. I didn't have band shirts or anything like that, even though I did listen to music. But I wasn't that kind of kid. I was reading comic books. I had a copy of Spawn in my backpack almost every day, or X-Men or something like that. And I had a group of friends, and I watched wrestling when I was in high school. I had a group of friends that did the same stuff as me, or some of the stuff that I did, but we were nerds. We were a group of nerds. One of us might have been cooler than the others because of who they knew. I was a new kid when I started high school at that city because we just moved. So no, making friends and bullies like that, especially in a school that was all rich white kids. Granted, I am a white kid. We were not rich by any stretch of the means. But yeah, they were all quote unquote better than me, and maybe that was my psychological thinking of it too, and that put them in that pedestal. But yeah, dude, I got picked on a lot, and high school was hell, and I never understood when people thought that these were the best 4 years of your life. But I just wanted to say that the portrayal of bullies in this show, yes, it is dramatized. It's a drama, but it's also very real for that time period. Again, I don't know what it's like today. I imagine it could be better, but I imagine with social media, it could be a million times worse. I've seen 13 Reasons Why, and I know I've seen testimonials from kids that watch that relate to a lot of things that happened to kids in that show, to things that happened to them as well. So I realize that some of that stuff is probably way worse. And if you do something embarrassing in school, all of a sudden it's viral in your community, and kids in another school down the road or down the other city see it too. So Anyway, I kind of went on a weird bully tangent, but yeah. So Stranger Things. Anything else from season 4, volume 2? Well, excuse me, I keep doing that. Volume 1 that you want to talk about before we close things out here?
I really enjoyed it. I think it is.
Oh, we didn't talk about the fact that Dustin's girlfriend shows up and we get to see her family.
Yeah,
and
her family crazy.
The way they talk her into helping him is 16 bits, man. 16 bits. A new console that they're trying to win for Dustin.
Yeah, which doesn't happen for another 4 or 5 years.
A Maritendo, I think he called it. Susie, it's 16 bits, Susie.
Maritendo. I was so heartbroken over the fact that I did this for him that my father took the computer away.
She changed his grade. What class was he failing? Latin.
Dustin. Which, first off, of course, you're going to fail Latin. No one
speaks it. You're a freshman in high school. For crying out loud.
Jesus, man. No one. You don't need to learn Latin.
Yeah.
Drop that.
Yeah. You're right. Oh, all right. So the last 2 episodes are Chapter 8, Papa, and Chapter 9, The Piggyback. Oh, The Piggyback. Interesting.
Ooh.
Makes me feel like in order to leave, somebody has to stay. That's kind of what I kind of feel like. Chapter 8, Papa, I'm kind of done with that dude. Like, I really wished he would. How is he not dead? Can we explain that?
I don't know, but I did theorize that he would, that I wanted him to be the American, and he shows up, so I'm like, kind of right.
Yeah. I am glad that Paul Reiser's character is still a good guy.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to see Elle hurt.
Yeah, he's trying to do everything he can. The small little Robert Englund cameo was fun. I kind of wish we would have had a little more. And there is a lot of Nightmare on Elm Street in there, especially when Chrissy dies. That's very Nightmare on Elm Street, trying to be awoken from your dreams, basically, and she gets flung up to the roof and murdered that way. But yeah, I'm gonna rewatch the season again before the next 2 episodes, just the season, not the whole series, like I did the first time.
Yeah.
But because it was so fun, and I want to relive it all again because it was really, really fun. And yeah, they fought a Demogorgon in a Russian jail, and it's basically gonna be free now.
Well, I mean, Hopper did throw that spear in his mouth,
but he was still alive.
Yeah.
What? That's kind of where it ended, right?
That's where it ended. Yeah.
We don't really know that they got away yet. They're still in the prison.
Yeah. And they're Americans on Soviet soil. Never a good thing.
Right. You got to find a better plane now to get out of, because the other one is not going to fly.
Nope.
Mike and that crew are on their way to Nina, Project Nina. And that's where 11 is with Papa. Where 11 just learned the truth about her friend, who ended up being Henry, aka Vecna.
Yeah, I going back to like, when did I know? I think as soon as they talked about 1.
So here's my problem. Everyone kept talking about the amazing twists and turns of this show, and they kept talking about twists. I'm like, the show doesn't really do twists. It's not an M. Night Shyamalan thing. There's surprises, sure, but there's never a twist. I'm like, okay, so there's gonna be a twist. What could it be? And I'm thinking. Oh, I'm like, okay, so my mind went straight to that orderly is gonna be Vecna. That's what I went to, and yeah, I was right. I did like the added twist that he was also Creel's son, because I couldn't have guessed that. Because I mean, why would you? He was dead. For all you knew, he died. He was killed by
Yeah, he was 3 different characters. He was number 1. He was Creel's son, and he was Vecna. Like that.
You'd say 4. You'd say 4. So he was number 1, and then he was the orderly.
Yeah. Man, that he reminded me. He looked a lot like
211. That's two, I'm sorry. I should say 211. That's two different people.
Yeah.
To everybody at the lab, it's one. But anyway,
he looked like the Skarsgård that played
Bill.
Yeah.
So where was it? We're wrapping up. Okay, so we talked about 11. Joyce, they're all in Russia, and then we have Dustin and that gang are in.
That's the storyline that I really enjoyed the most.
So they're in Hopkins, and they're headed towards. Where are they? They weren't in the last episode.
No, they are. They were. They were in the trailer park.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We lose track of them after. Right, they break through the gate, and they drop the ropes, and they do the cool, weird physics of it all, where you're climbing at one point and then falling at the next. It's pretty dope. But before Steve could get out, Nancy climbs out, and she's about to be free, but then she ends up in a different part of the Upside Down with Vecna. So there's that part of it. So that's where everybody is. One thing we didn't mention is the one-shot action sequence when they're breaking into the Wheeler house or the buyer's house. Great action sequence, great oneer of them doing all the action and the two FBI agents. The one that dies easy and the one that just dies hard, I guess you could say. Like he's still alive as far as we know. No, they buried him. He died eventually.
No.
But
it's the other one, the one that was being tortured by the U.S. Army.
Yeah. And then who actually eventually gave in. So then there's that too. The U.S. Army is kind of close in on the Nina project here in a second. So we're gonna see some of that, and maybe 11 fighting off of the U.S. Army. So who knows what's gonna happen there? But so that's what we're headed to in these last two episodes, and then the final season 5, which we don't really have any information on yet. We don't need to either. Let's just finish this season out. Mostly all good reviews for Stranger Things season 4, volume 1, other than the fact that it's bloated in long run times, which I didn't feel that was a bad thing. I really enjoyed the long run times. I really enjoyed the long episodes because for me, they didn't feel long. It was just good, awesome content. So yeah, what did you guys think? Let us know. What are you thinking of Obi-Wan? What are your theories about what's going to happen next on Obi-Wan and on Stranger Things? What are you thinking about for Miss Marvel, which will be out next Friday? And also The Boys. The first couple episodes are out now. And then Jurassic World 2 will also be out next week, I believe. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to go see it opening night so we can talk about that on the next episode. I'll keep it.
Be able to see it.
I'll keep it spoiler free. So we'll talk about it then. Kyle,
Dave,
close out the show like we usually do.
Oh yes, definitely. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at KyleKrause89. You can also follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/KKrause89. And yeah, I will be on Star Wars TV Talk within the next couple days, talking about episode 3 of Obi-Wan in depth. And then I am also doing a film competition in the city that I'm in called the 48-Hour Film Festival. So look for that. That'll be all over my socials and everything. It's the third year that I'm doing it, and I'm really excited about this one because I'm going to be doing audio and co-editing. I'm really nervous about the co-editing. So yeah, there we go. 48-Hour Film Festival next weekend. Woo!
Woo, woo, woo. All right, at Atomic Geekdom on all of the social medias for everything else that you want to find us on: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Did I say Facebook? Facebook as well, if you're watching us on Facebook. Hello. And Twitch, twitch.tv/Atomic Geekdom. I want to start being more active on there regularly, whether we do shows every so often where maybe Kyle and I just pop on Twitch for like a half hour or so and we talk about game news or whatever. We just do a little program for you on Tuesdays where it's Tuesdays with Maury, but it's Dave and Kyle. Who knows?
Tuesdays with Murray.
Or maybe one night a week, Kyle will go live on our Twitch and he'll play a video game.
Woo.
Yeah. So there's that. Thank you, Dead Zombie Girl, for hanging out in the chat. As always, we appreciate you being interactive with us. Get some sleep with your crazy sleep schedule. I'm about to go to bed too. I've got a wedding tomorrow. Join us when we go live. Like I say, follow us on Twitch. You can't subscribe yet. We're not affiliate, so you can't do that. But you follow us there. You'll get notified when we go live. Same thing on Facebook. Same thing on YouTube. You can subscribe on YouTube, and I'll let you know when we go live. So there you go. Yes, the podcasts are also on. If you do the audio version, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you get your podcasts, you can get Atomic Geekdom, the podcast, in podcast form. But if you want to see our faces and interact with us live on the chat, you can do so when we do these live broadcasts on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We'll always be live on all three platforms, so you can get us no matter what. Even if you don't want to create a Twitch account, Twitch is so easy and free, and you could really support your friends that have their own channels by subscribing with your Amazon account for free. It's super easy. Just throwing it out there, Jenny. Anyway, so yeah, we'll be back next week for another episode. We'll also be back. We're planning our summer office picnic, I guess we'll call it. It's an annual thing we do. We do one at Christmas. We do the office Christmas party. And then we do our annual summer picnic as well. I think we've missed a year. No, we've done it. I think it got obliterated during quarantine year. I was really drunk, but we usually record the first hour of it, and then we just hang out together afterwards as a unit of Atomic Geekdom people. There's a few of us. And this just in, we might be at San Diego Comic-Con this year. When I say we, I mean I might be at San Diego Comic-Con. Jenny most likely will be there no matter what. So, but hopefully I can go and I can travel and spend probably $400 on a flight, which is making me angry already. But I have to find out soon because prices are going to get higher soon. If it doesn't, anyway. This weekend is also Hell in a Cell for WWE, so if you're watching that, enjoy that, wrestling fans. Yeah, I think that's all I got.
That's it.
All right, everybody, stay safe, be kind. It's Pride Month. We love everyone here at Atomic Geekdom. We discriminate against no one. Be happy, be yourself. Never be afraid to be yourself. And yeah, just be kind to each other. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Can't go wrong that way, unless you want to be treated very poorly. Then I guess it could go wrong. But just be nice to each other. That's all. Just be nice to each other. Stay safe. Be kind. Rewind. All that good stuff. Say goodbye.
Bye.